Abuja. My name is Tessie Omeri. We begin on education note. Recall that the 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examinations UTME nationwide witnessed some technical issues as the 2024 session of the UTME kick-off Hadiza Godwin Ebuni visited some centers in the Buari and Amak area councils of the FCT to ascertain the current situation.
As the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examinations continue across the country, the spokesperson for the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, Fabian Benjamin, says huge success has been recorded as the board has been able to curb examination malpractice to its barest minimum.
Each year we look at the exercise, we see where there are loopholes, we ensure that we cover them to have a better exercise. And this year, in fact, we expected a lot of challenges because we have introduced a number of innovations that we've never tried before. But luckily, when you work hard, God has a way of always rewarding your hard work. We are using 776 centers across the Federation. And in each of these centers, we have 250 computers. And in each of these computers is being monitored from the headquarters here. You can see how huge that tax is. By the time you multiply 250 times 776, you know what that means. And we are monitoring each computer in such a way that we know which candidate sits on which system to write examination. We know the system that is in which center. You have 250 centers. We know all the systems there in such a way that if you take a system out of the center, we know that system is not in that center. Or you take a candidate out of the center to sit examination anywhere. Or you do what we call cabling. You take a cable outside the center and all this, and we'll still know that, yes, this center, this hall that is here, there is something that is connected to another hall somewhere, that somebody is doing something funny somewhere.
A visit to some CBT centers in Buari and Amak area councils of the FCT shows that 3 sessions of the examinations are conducted in each center on daily basis.
The examination, it went very peacefully. Everyone was focused. The center was really quiet. I could really focus, and it was as it's expected to be. It was well coordinated. The system it worked perfectly.
The system was okay. There was no interference or anything with the system. It was okay. It's a cool environment.
The board says it will continue its fight against impersonation, examination malpractice, and misconduct during examinations, among others. Hadiza Godwin Ebuni, NTA News.
The 2024 Batch A Stream 2 core members posted to the Federal Capital Territory have been enjoined to conduct themselves properly to learn the way and cultures of the host communities. The 4,556 core members have been sworn in at the Kubwa NYC orientation camp. Charity Zaka has details.
The Chief Judge of the FCT, represented by Justice Yusuf Haliru, administered the oath of allegiance on the core members.
Of the National Youth Service Corps 20.
The core members pledged to live up to the ideals of the NYC.
It's teaching us what to do after our service finishes, which I feel like is necessary.
I'm looking forward to learning so much from the SAID program. I think it's a very nice opportunity to learn skills.
Minister of State FCT, represented by the Mandate Secretary, Social Development Secretariat FCT, and Chairman NYC FCT Governing Board, Ibrahim Aminu, in his address expresses FCT administration's readiness to provide them the maximum enabling environment for a successful orientation exercise.
On our part, we shall endeavor to ensure that you undergo your orientation course in safety and that your welfare is taken care of.
The FCT NYC coordinator Winifred Shokweka encourages the core members to conduct themselves well as they learn numerous programs initiated for them.
I'm also delighted to state that these prospective core members have successfully adapted to the regimented nature of the orientation course and have comported themselves in a manner worthy of commendation.
The NYC orientation exercise is aimed at grooming core members for a 1-year mandatory national service to their fatherland. Charity Zaka, NTA News.
And in the same vein, the 2024 Batch A Stream 2 National Youth Service Corps members posted to Nasarawa State have taken oath of allegiance for the mandatory 1-year service to their fatherland. Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule, in a message, advised them to respect the rule of law as guiding principle for a brighter future. Nguse Peri has details.
These are 2024 Batch A Stream 2 proud Nigerian Youth Corps members deployed to serve in Nasarawa State, taking oath of allegiance.
See myself always as a leader.
Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule, represented by Commissioner of Youth and Sports Development Jafaru Angu, called on them to consider their future by actively participating in camp activities in preparation for national assignment.
I implore you to pay particular attention to your content as provides the framework for a successful, impactable service year.
Nasarawa State NYC Coordinator Abdullahi Jikamshi, in the same vein, encouraged the Corps members to adhere to the rules and regulations of the scheme while in camp, as well as being industrious and patriotic throughout their service year.
Though the orientation is highly regimented, it is meant to give Corps members adequate physical and mental training, instill discipline, and to imbibe in them the spirit of collective responsibility.
The enthusiastic Corps members shared their experiences.
This is something I've wanted for a very long time, and I'm finally doing it, so I'm excited.
As they bask in the euphoria of the orientation exercise, what they wish for is an enabling environment to serve their fatherland diligently. From Kefi Nguse PV, NTA News.
Still talking education, have you ever lost yourself in a book only to find a piece of your soul? Now imagine diving into pages, transporting you to other worlds and meeting characters who feel like old friends. Each turn of the page brings a view, adventure, and lesson shaping your new view of the world around you. Now, to recognize various stakeholders like authors, publishers, booksellers, and libraries or librarians that make up the book sector, the World Book and Copyright Day was introduced. Mariam George Jitbo explores this symbolic day.
23rd April is a symbolic date in world literature. It is the date in which several prominent authors like William Shakespeare, Miguel de Cervantes,
for the students and guardians and teachers and parents to purchase for their wards and children, because the ERC is very, very conscious of the copyright law.
World Book and Copyright Day 2024 is a moment to share stories, amplify good practice, kickstart discussion on how access to various forms of literature, including oral traditions, can help protect indigenous languages, cultures, and knowledge systems.
The idea of books is also very important because there are workbooks that children even work on in schools. So those ones technology cannot take care of that. And also there are assignments on textbooks and all that. And sometimes the beauty of even reading a book, most times children, when they get back home, it's not everybody that have access to the technology. So what do they rely on for their assignments and all that? So they have to rely on books. So we cannot do away with books.
Books are referred to as link between the past and future, a bridge between generations and across cultures. Therefore, people of all ages should come together to appreciate the value of books and the lasting contributions of authors to cultural and social progress. Mariam George, Jitubo, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. Still to come on the news. Nigerian Basketball Federation reaffirms commitment to developing the game from grassroots to international level. These and more when we return. Thank you for staying tuned. Harnessing artificial intelligence for the accounting profession through the diversification of strategies for enhancing entrepreneurship in a digital economy formed part of the discourse at the annual seminar for accounting professionals chaired by the Society of Women Accountants of Nigeria, SWAN, Abuja chapter. Cecilia Julius reports.
Addressing the theme, Staying Relevant in the Digital World, Opportunities for the Finance Profession, the seminar x-rays the varied and inexhaustible opportunities in the use of artificial intelligence for the financial experts.
There's nothing you will do as an accountant today that you do not need ICT skills. So for us to be relevant, we have to upgrade this on a daily basis.
It's a way of giving back to the society, considering the amount that they charge, very small, everybody can afford it. They partner with the public by giving them that knowledge that is required to build a society.
In the advent of the use of artificial intelligence, participants were advised to be abreast of digital skills necessary in remaining relevant in the field to bridge the digital gap.
For participants who have keyed in online and those who are here physically, it is expected that at the end of the seminar, they will go home with new knowledge.
We need to get things done in the best of way and in the most effective and efficient way. So that is the reason why we have to pick on this topic to sensitize the professionals and ensure that they key into the reality of the time.
While receiving awards for their contributions to the association, some dignitaries made commitment to be digitally relevant. Cecilia Julius, NTA News.
From digital economy, let's take a look at the environment. The surge in global warming as a result of human activities and climate change leave the Earth on the verge of a tipping point if nothing is done to save it. On the World Earth Day is set aside to raise awareness about the dire consequences of plastic pollution and land degradation. Efforts are geared towards a 60% reduction in the production of plastic by 2040 and an ultimate goal of building a plastic-free future for generations to come.
Earth, the third planet from the Sun and the only astronomical object known to harbor life. This is enabled by water, covering 70.8% of Earth's crust. The rest, land, harboring man, and biodiversity is now ailing, owing to extreme weather, depletion of the ozone layer, and negative human activities.
We want more consciousness. People should be a lot aware about the pollution, plastic, the environment. We need to keep the environment safe. We need to keep the earth safe.
The United Nations General Assembly proclaimed 22nd of April as International Earth Day to recognize the Earth and its ecosystems as humanity's common home and the needs to and articulate the commitment of nations to limit global temperature rise to less than 2 degrees Celsius over pre-industrial levels.
The earth is where we have for now. They have not been able to find a way for us to be translated to the moon and all of that. So we must keep it alive. We must sustain it and hand it over to our children.
So for us to be able to increase resilience to climate change, we have to come up with activities that will restore the ozone layer.
Planet versus plastic. The theme for this year's World Earth Day. The message on this day is simply unite and implores nations to adopt policies to curb plastic pollution and unwholesome human activities. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Now to security. Divisional Police Officer in charge of Gwarimpa, Chief Superintendent of Police Monishola Oluwatuashe, says the command will sustain operational strategies to ensure that FCT residents continue to enjoy the relative peace presently established. The DPO was responding to questions on the security check program called the Police on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. Hadiza Godwin Ebune brings us excerpts from the program.
Kidnapping was rife at the onset of the new year, coupled with the menace of one chance and other petty crimes. However, DPO Munisola Oluwatuase discloses that the change of management at the command deployed new strategies in policing the FCT. This initiative, the senior police officer hinted, resulted in the successes recorded.
Our CP, person of Bennett Igwe, came in. He has brought in innovations. He has brought in innovations on the vigil and the motivations in making sure that policing is very, very effective. And if you can see from the video, he has brought in the innovations of drones. He was using his laptop, in assessing this difficult terrain in order to be able to, curb the activities of the criminals out there.
Residents who called in on the program commend the police efforts at providing security, while also giving relevant information on locations being disturbed by suspected criminals. DPO Munisola assures the residents that the relevant information will swing into action to address the pockets of challenges with a view to giving respite in the days ahead. Hadiza Godwin Ebuni, NTA News.
Down to recognition. Individuals who have distinguished themselves in promoting community well-being as well as exhibiting good leadership qualities have been conferred with traditional titles in Mabushi district of the FCT. This is to further entrench community peace and development. Abdullahi Ajia reports that former coordinator, FCT Satellite Towns Development Department, and a politician, Ishaku Tanko Yamao, was turbaned as the Damasaning Mabushi amidst cultural and royal renaissance.
The Mabushi indigenous people of the FCT, even in the face of development and erosion of their cultural life, still cherish their tradition and culture. This statement featured during the conferment of community titles and the celebration of the first anniversary of the district head of Mabushi and 44th anniversary of the village head on the throne of his forebearers. The turbaning ritual, which was performed in accordance with traditional rites, attracted people from all walks of life and was used to further entrench the people's belief in their cherished culture and tradition.
Today I've been given this title, Damasani, and I've been confirmed. It's a big challenge to me, and I know what is happening today is going to give me another courage and another wisdom that I will pilot affairs of this community and outside the community to bring more development to our community. We've done our best, but the best is yet to be done with what has happened today.
That shows how well he has really contributed to the growth of his community in terms of empowering them. Building structures in people is what we know him for.
Someone who has stood by his community through thick and thin, and I think the community have done well by identifying with him and giving him a title.
The good people of Mabushi have recognized me to be worthy of this position as Ajia Mabushi, and I'm very happy and I'm very grateful to the district head.
Thereafter, the community and her people were thrown into a celebration mood with issues of peaceful coexistence, community development being brought to the front burner.
I am charging them to continue to support the policies, the legacies that we are bringing in order to develop Mabushi.
The occasion became an avenue for a cultural show reviving their ancestral beliefs and cultures with a promise to uphold them for the sake of posterity. In Abuja, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
Now to the world of sports. Sports Writers Association of Nigeria Electoral Committee Chairman Patrick Nwagu has revealed that only accredited members of FCT SWAN will be allowed to vote during the chapter's election build to hold this Friday. He stated this during a press briefing in Abuja. Francisca Dile has details.
All is now set for the FCT SWAN election, which is scheduled to take place this Friday in Abuja. With the Friday date for the FCT SWAN election setting, FCT SWAN NECO chairman Patrick Ngwa-Ogo noted that 12 candidates are vying for different positions available as they bid to take over the mantle of leadership. The chairman, who appealed for support from FCT SWAN members, stressed that all have been made for members who picked the nomination and interest form to contest on a level playing field.
On the election day,